Okay, we are recording, and now I'm going to get my screen shared so everybody can see that. Let's see. Screen share. Okay, so if y'all can give me a thumbs up if you can see the slides. Okay, awesome. And I want to see if I'm just going to make an adjustment. This is new. Zoom is fairly new to me. Let's seeing how I can have everything. Okay, so if y'all can go ahead and mute your screen, that would also be helpful. So if you don't see where that is, that's in the bottom left-hand corner of your computer screen or phone screen. You should see a box that says mute. Go ahead and do that. There we go. And then, especially if you have any background noise or dogs barking, which I can't mute myself because I got to talk, and my dogs like to talk on my webinar. So bear with me, but we're going to get started. So tonight we're going to talk about allergies, spring cleaning. We still are in the spring season, and allergies are really, really prominent in a lot of parts of the country, parts of the world. And I'm guessing that the reason why you decided to spend some time with us this evening is perhaps because you yourself suffer or maybe have suffered from seasonal allergies or some sort of allergen that you have in your system that it doesn't like so much, or somebody in your family, because we all know somebody who has allergies, and it's pretty common. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. And I want to start off, I have just a quick little slide. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rebecca Colby, and I grew up with Shackley. This is the vehicle that we're going to use to talk tonight about some natural approaches and some other things as well. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up with it. My parents found Shackley in the mid-1970s when my mom was having some significant health issues, was told she needed to have a hysterectomy, and she was looking to natural means to rebuild her health instead of having that surgery. And so she turned to dietary supplements. Nothing was really working for her. And then she found Shackley by word of mouth from a friend. She decided to use the products and try the supplements. And after time was able to rebuild her health so much that she did not need a hysterectomy and ended up with a surprise pregnancy. And that was with me. So I grew up with the natural cleaning products we're going to address a little bit on tonight, which are fantastic. I grew up with the supplements. And as a kid, I was healthy. I did not have allergies as a kid. I didn't get sick very often. I was kind of boring when it came to that. I didn't miss a lot of school that I remember. But when I went away to college and I left all of that behind because I just couldn't remember to take my vitamins and all that in the dorms, I started to develop a lot of health issues over time. Allergies was one of them. I had significant seasonal allergies and trying different over-the-counter things, and it was all very new to me. I didn't like some of the side effects that some of the medication or the pharmaceuticals I was taking for allergies had. I was constantly, with the runny nose and the itchy eyes and, the watery everything, and it wasn't very much fun. And so it wasn't until my husband and I, who's pictured there, rediscovered Shackley when our oldest son, Andrew, was a baby, and I was looking for some safe cleaning products to clean my house. And, the stuff I was using was giving me a headache, was irritating my sensitive skin, was making everything kind of feel foggy up here. And I didn't like the cleaning products that I was using because they smelled really bad and that kind of thing. And so a mom friend said, "Hey, have you ever heard of Shackley?" So we started to use the cleaning products. And it was my husband that got really intrigued and started to look into the science, which I'm going to share a little bit about tonight. And that's where it started, just conversations with other moms who are looking for safe products for their home, for their family, something for their allergies, something for energy, different things, weight loss. And I had a weight loss story. I had lots of things rebuild in my health after rediscovering the products, the Shackley supplements, to build health. And they also have helped our kids. Specifically, our youngest, who was born at 34 weeks gestation, that's Benjamin. And we were told that he would have asthma, which is also an allergic response. The lungs are hypersensitive, and the airways react to allergens and can cause asthma type symptoms. That can be from cleaning products. That can be from different things. And we were told he would have asthma. And we are grateful that he is 6 years old today, no asthma, and he's just a really healthy kid. And I was thankful, you can see in that bottom picture there, which I just think is so much fun. I love that picture, where Andrew's holding one of our cleaning products. It's called Basic H, and the boys love to help me clean and earn a quarter here and there to help me dust and things like that, which is great for moms. And it's safe for them. It doesn't have the fumes or anything that could be harmful to them. And then Benjamin's holding up our kids' vitamins, which I'm going to talk about later, our Incredivites, which really help to help their immune systems, which is a big part of allergies. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. I also am going to welcome a couple teammates here. Emily Carey is going to speak tonight a little bit with us, and Elizabeth Green are going to share on a few of the slides as well. So ladies, as we're going, if you have things to interject, feel free to do that, or, little stories here and there. Anybody who has had something that they want to share, just, raise a hand, and if you want to share quickly, that's welcomed. All right, let's slides going here. Oops, I skipped one. Okay, so because we're going to talk about some natural means to rebuild our health through some of these products, I want to start off by just sharing a little bit about the background of the products or the company that we're going to talk about if you're not familiar. So I don't know, can you all see that okay? I feel like I'm moving the faces around. I think when I record it, my view is a little bit obscured, so I got to work on that. But you can see here that at Shaklee, we provide a healthier life for everyone and a better life for anyone that chooses it. The company was founded by Dr. Shaklee, who's pictured there. He was an innovator. He was way ahead of his time, but as a child, he was very sick. He had allergies. He had a lot of different things. His parents were told that he would not live a long life, and he, as a child, was very interested in being in harmony with nature and putting things in our bodies as God intended, if you will. And so that's where we started, and then we moved forward to the present time with Roger Barnett, who's our CEO. He bought the company in 2004, and we are very fortunate because he really took the vision of Dr. Shaklee and the science and everything that he built this wonderful company on, the natural product side of things, and moved it to the current time. So everything we're going to talk about tonight is really top quality. And you can see here with the Shaklee difference, this is what really impressed my husband. Now, he's a scientist, he's a pharmacist, he's a chemist. He works with natural products at Ole Miss, which has the only natural product center in the country for research. And he was so impressed by this, by the 350 tests on every new botanical ingredient, making sure there's no contamination, pesticides, residues. And a lot of times when people have an allergic response to things, it's because of this. It's because of the contamination or the pesticides. And I'm getting a little bit of background noise. If you all could, if you haven't already, just go ahead and mute your phone or computer, bottom left corner, please. Let's see, I don't think everybody's muted. So go ahead and do that if you haven't already. That's helpful. Okay, and so you can also see here, the 250 pesticide test goes way beyond what the United States Pharmacopoeia requires. The green part of our company, the gold medalists, all these people that are part of what Shaklee is, makes us different. But for my family, married to a scientist and who specializes in dietary supplement research, this is what really blew him away. The third-party testing, the pharmaceutical standards, all of that really, really impressed David. Okay. I love this so much, this history of what we have in our company, starting in 1915 with the very first multiple vitamin with Dr. Shaklee in the United States, to the first biodegradable cleaning product in 1960, to the first protein powder in 1961, and all the way down the line. We have always been ahead of what science is doing as far as the supplement industry goes. And this is for over 60 years now that we've been incorporated. And I just love this because it really shows something that's very unique to Shaklee and what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, purity and safety. People ask me all the time, and I say, it goes beyond organic. And what does that mean? It really reflects the belief that our quality standards go beyond where an ingredient is grown. We really look to confirm the purity and the potency of the ingredients, which is really, really important with the topic we're going to talk about tonight. From the creation of the product to the delivery of the customer. And this is done with over 100,000 quality tests. Some of you have heard me say that Dr. Daggy was here at Ole Miss in March, and he's the chief science compliance officer at Shackley, and he said that that number is modest. It's actually closer to 200,000 quality tests per year. They screen for so many contaminants, like I said before, just really above and beyond, which really sets us apart. My husband was so impressed with the publications, over 120 publications, papers, scientific presentations, top medical science, nutrition journals, you name it, more than 70 patents and patents pending, which is not an easy feat. I love this study. Just going to briefly talk about it just to show you what we're going to talk about tonight in the quality. They did a study at UC Berkeley School of Public Health, and the scientists there wanted to know, do supplements work and do brands matter? And what they found was across the board, they took a Shackley group that had been using supplements from Shackley for over 20 years. Pretty cool. And then another group that used no vitamins or supplements, and another group that just took XYZ multivitamin from the store, or from any store. And what they found was across the board, the Shackley users were healthier. The average age of this group was like 62, 63 years old. 0.1 medication of the 200 to 300 people that they sampled. I mean, it was very, very, very healthy group with cancers and diabetes, but especially around the heart health area. And that was what really was telling, that supplements do work, or they can work, and brands indeed do matter. And again, like I said before, we have, top athletes using the products, people with NASA and the Kelly brothers in space, just wonderful history. Also, everything's guaranteed that we're going to talk about tonight, okay? So I believe this brings me to Emily. She's going to talk a little bit on, what are allergies and some facts about those.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to share with you just a little bit about allergy facts. An allergy is an overreaction to the human immune system to a foreign protein substance, an allergen. 60 million people have asthma and allergies, which is 1 in 4 of us. So if you were to look at just the people who are on this call, several of us are probably experiencing allergies or asthma of some kind. Now, when you find any allergies, you're also going to find a prevalence of other diseases, from diabetes, cancer, coronary heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. Can you go to the next one, Rebecca? The allergies are the most frequent reported chronic condition in children, and it limits their activities for more than 40% of kids. I don't know how many of you have children, but I have 5 of them, and they have lots of friends, and I hear it all the time, that their allergies are causing issues, whether it is sports related or whether it's just, hey, we'd like the kids to come over and have a play date, and honestly, they can't because they're struggling with allergies so bad. I've had kids stay home from church activities and not be part of our classroom because of it as well. There's 80 million children that have respiratory allergies, 7 million with non-respiratory allergies, and 400 Americans die each year due to drug allergies from penicillin. And a couple of my kiddos are allergic to that as well. Before I move on to the costs of the allergens and what that is doing from a financial standpoint, I just wanted to touch base on the fact that when you have the allergies, it comes out in so many other areas. It's not maybe just your allergies that you're going to be experiencing with a runny nose and kind of like the tired eyes and, all red and irritated and not being able to enjoy the things that we want to enjoy with our families. But it also ends up breaking down their immune system, and they're more susceptible to getting some of the colds or the flus. Strep throat's been going around here, and a lot of the people that I know that have allergies have also gotten the strep throat or have had other more serious issues. The common medication side effects can be the muscle weakness, delayed growth in children, drowsiness, dizziness, dry mouth, headache, and constipation. And any of those things do not sound wonderful. Certainly, sometimes it feels necessary to have maybe some of those things as opposed to having the allergies. But as you're going to hear later on, there's definitely a way with which you can take care of the allergies and not experience any of those side effects. And just to touch base on the financial side of what it's costing our society, before we move on, I know Elizabeth has some good things to share as well. Thank you, Rebecca.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just didn't want to pass this up because I think it's really important to say, nearly 6 billion in medications, not to mention what you're going to lose if you miss your job or maybe your family activities. And on that note, I just think how much my family spent in the last 10, 15 years getting over-the-counter allergy medicines, from Claritin D to Zyrtec or whatever, versus what we spend now on a wellness budget. And it really makes a huge difference to just transfer some of the money that we were putting towards one type of medicine and putting it into a wellness budget. And overall, now we're saving money and we don't have the same doctor bills and over-the-counter medicine budget that we used to have. It's now actually lessened, even though I know that there's some preconceived notions. I even thought that it was going to cost our family more money, but it actually is not. It has saved our family some money. And then the other side of it, where it talks about the job and the loss of productivity, certainly you could see that from a job standpoint, but I had a close friend of mine who all he wanted to do was be able to spend Christmas with his family and not struggle with pet allergies. And as it turned out, he was willing to try some of the Shaklee products and be able to not have the drowsiness and any of those side effects. And he was able to enjoy Christmas for the first time with his family this last year, which I just think is amazing.
That's great. Have you talked through everything that you wanted to share on this slide, Emily?
Yep.
Okay, I know I jumped on the other one. I didn't actually mean
that's okay.
My mouse jumped and I didn't realize it at first. Okay, so I'm just going to share it real quick. On this slide, it talks about, the weakened immune system. And this is something that until I started doing this and sharing and helping people, which I really enjoy, I didn't realize that, when I was having the allergy issues in college and beyond college and graduate school, that my immune system was weak. And that's weakened by a few different things that are listed here. Stress, we all have that, emotional, physical stress. Sugar, it's a huge one that people don't realize can break down the immune system and really affect so many areas of our health and well-being. And sugar's in a lot of stuff. Plus, as Americans, we tend to want more sugar. The sweeter, the better. So, really kind of adjusting our thoughts on that can be helpful. And of course, alcohol as well. There's sugar and alcohol, but then there's other things that can break down the immune system. Poor diet, lack of sleep. We want at least 8 hours. If we can do it, 7 to 8 hours is what I usually tell people. Genetics, it plays a part with our immune function and something that we just have to be aware of if you're battling something because of something that you inherited. Aging and exposure to toxins that can be in our foods, that can be in our environment, that can be in medications, things like that, and nutritional deficiencies. So we want to make sure that we're getting, a good balanced diet. And then I've seen so many statistics now where, and different talks that I listen to with doctors and nutritionists and such, that it's really hard to get what we need from food alone. We really need to do what Dr. Daggy calls smart supplementation, where we're helping to fill in the gaps because our food source is not what it used to be many years ago. We have a lot of processed foods and high calorie foods that give us low nutritional value, sugars, salts, things like that are, our food is over salted, over sugared, and the genetically modified aspect of things. So fruits and vegetables are picked before they're ripe and shipped around the country and around the world, really. So they look pretty for the consumer to buy, but it might be missing the nutritional content that it had 20, 30, 50 years ago. So it's different. Our needs today are different than what our grandparents and our ancestors needed as far as nutrition, and good supplementation can really fill in those gaps. So now I believe, Elizabeth, are you still with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, she's going to share on the next few slides with some natural approaches to eliminate allergies.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in. I thought what you had on that last slide was really important, just the whole idea about the weakened immune system and stress being a real factor for it. And I started getting allergies. My dad had hay fever, so I always knew he had allergies, and our house would be shut up in the spring and the fall because he didn't want the pollen in the house. And I didn't have allergies, seasonal allergies, until I was in high school. And for me, the trigger was stress. I was a sophomore in high school. That was the year my sister left for college. So we were really good friends and she was gone. So I went from having a sibling to being an only child. My dog died that year. I broke up with my boyfriend. And wouldn't you know, that was the year that I just got really bad allergies. And tried all sorts of different medication, didn't like the side effects. They all had various side effects. And so really a couple of years ago when I came to Shaklee for my natural approaches, I really finally found some relief as I began to rebuild my immune system. This is such an important theme for us to remember. And so how do we go about doing that? We need to rebuild our immune system. We need to restore the health of the sinuses, of course. I know I've had allergies that went straight into bronchitis because I was, sneezing and coughing, and there was just gunk that I was contending with. And another piece of that too is restoring the health of our digestive tract. So much of our health, I discovered, is in our digestive tract. And if we can get our gut cleaned up, that's really going to impact our immune system and help us fight off these allergens. And we want to remove toxins from our environment. And so as I began to do this, I really began to find, personally, I began to find relief and help for myself. In the first season, I started rebuilding my health. I only had to use Flonase one time. And then we got to the next allergy season. That was spring, got to fall, and I was able, I felt great, and I felt so good. I thought, oh, I don't need these Shaklee supplements anymore, and I quit taking them. And immediately I started getting allergy attacks, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. They are really doing something good for me. They really are helping my body fight these allergies. And so now I know what to do, and I'm able to sleep with the window open. It's really thrilling. My husband is so happy that for the first time, in all these years of our marriage, we're able to have the windows open in the beautiful season of spring and fall. So what do? We've got some things that I've used that I want to tell you about. Number one, in the bottom corner there, you see the Vital E, which is our multivitamin. It's just a really comprehensive, excellent multivitamin, and that is a great way to begin to rebuild the immune health. Now, that's a really good choice. A better choice is the Vitalizer, and you can see that. Those are the boxes of blue, red, and pink up in the top. And the Vitalizer is 80 just great nutrients that have a delivery system that is amazing, because these nutrients, it's a smart delivery system, so the nutrients get absorbed in and delivered to the right part of the digestive system, whether it's the stomach, the upper intestines, or the lower intestines, to release the nutrients where they need to be released in the digestive tract for absolute the best maximum absorption that you can get. So the Vitalizer is what I take and what has really helped me with my allergies. Another piece to that is the Life Shake. If you see that Life Shake, we've got soy and non-soy. I personally use the soy Life Shake. And again, the Life Shake, it's plant-based protein that really helps with digestive and immune support. A big piece of that is that it's got pre and probiotics in it, which again helps with that gut health. We're replacing bad bacteria with good bacteria, and it just helps with that immune system. Nutriferon, I would not be without. It is really helpful for me. I take more during allergy season than I do at other times, but it stimulates your immune system. And Dr. Kojimo, I think I'm saying his name the right way, but he developed this product, and he was the one who discovered that our body makes interferon. And so this product is a natural way to prompt our body's own natural production of interferon, which stimulates our immune system. So that's a really big help around allergy season. And it just helps optimize your body's natural immune response to allergies. And of course, vitamin C, we all know that vitamin C is a great immune support. It's an antioxidant. It supports our immune function. It's a natural antihistamine. I take that throughout the day, morning, noon, and night, to keep that in my bloodstream. So that's another really beneficial product. There's some other things that help our sinuses, and garlic is one of them. I love garlic. Again, another product I won't be without. I take it several times a day. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, and it just enhances your immune system, kills viruses, and keeps unfriendly bacteria from growing. So that's something that I take too. And then alfalfa. Alfalfa is just a storehouse of nutrients. Alfalfa is the taproot for alfalfa can go about 20 feet deep into the soil. And so it gathers just nutrients and minerals from the soil, and it's a natural antihistamine and natural antibacterial. And I'll have to say, yesterday, my husband and I went golfing on Mother's Day in the afternoon. And I mean, you could see the just pollen from the trees coming down onto the golf course. And my eyes were starting to get a little bit itchy. And so came home, took about 7 alfalfa, garlic, and a couple of each. And, 10 minutes later, itchiness gone. And I felt so much better. So I've really been able to manage well allergy symptoms and feel good without the side effects that I had on the medication. What I felt headaches or blurry vision or groggy, and I don't have any of those side effects. I just have the benefits of really feeling good during the season.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for both of you for sharing on some of that. And just as a side note, for those of you who caught what Elizabeth said about taking 7 alfalfa, I want to make a note of making sure people understand that they're like food tablets. So it's not medication. And people have to, I think, sometimes shift from the thought of, when you're used to taking medication and a prescription that a doctor tells you to take one, twice a day or whatever it happens to be, these are food tablets. The alfalfa is like alfalfa, right? We know, I had a friend one day tell me, because she works with horses. She's like, I thought we only gave alfalfa to horses. No, people take it too. And you want to get a really good form of it. Shaklee actually grows their own in California to ensure that it doesn't have the runoff from pesticides and contamination from the farmers. And because Elizabeth had said the roots go so deep for the alfalfa plant that they're really getting the minerals from the soil. It's just a really, really great thing. That's great for allergies. Also arthritis pain for anybody who suffers from that. Asthma, which again is linked to allergies, and it's a great cleansing supplement. It's just wonderful. My whole family takes that. I'm going to move the slides, but I want to just share a quick little story about alfalfa. So my whole family uses Shaklee, and my husband, David, who's on the field science team with Shaklee as a volunteer, he has terrible seasonal allergies. He's had them all his life, very much allergic to grass pollen and all of those kind of things. And our oldest son, Andrew, also has the same. He inherited that from his dad. And so Andrew takes, the children's vitamins, which I'm going to talk about next, and he takes the alfalfa. He takes the vitamin C and things like that, and it helps him to really regulate his allergies. And with David, some of you know my husband, that he has a pharmacy background, so he is very much trained in drugs, and which is very, very important. Drugs can be life-saving for people, pharmaceuticals, but if people can do a more natural approach, because with pharmaceuticals and with the different allergy medications out there, often what I've been hearing, and this is the same for my husband, that people develop, an immunity to them, so to speak. They build it up where their body doesn't respond like maybe it used to a certain pharmaceutical. And so when he would go out and mow the grass and just come in just like, itchy, watery eyes, his nose was running like a water faucet. It's just, that was his response, even though he had taken his pharmaceuticals, which used to work. And so, as the encouraging wife, I've been encouraging him to more and more add on, more alfalfa. He's, he's a bigger guy, so he needs a little bit more. And like I said, they're food tablets. And just this weekend, because it's been a busy semester, our grass had gotten pretty out of control. I'm sure our neighbors love that. And so David likes to mow, but he just hadn't had the time. And so he went on Saturday to mow, and he had been building the alfalfa and the C and all that good stuff for his immune system for several weeks. And so when he came in after mowing, which I thought for sure, if he didn't have that in his system, he would be, drippy nose and all that, and blowing his nose and all that. And he wasn't. And so I was really thankful, because all of the grass had gone to seed, and you know that really irritates people that have grass allergies and pollen allergies. So I want to talk a little bit about digestive health here, because like Elizabeth said, so much, I believe that the figure I've read is 70 to 80% of our immune system is found in the gut lining, which really surprised me when I first started to learn about all of this. And so if our gut lining is off because of medication, because of food toxins, environmental toxins, different things, then we need that good flora, the good bacteria, to kind of balance that out. If you've been on antibiotics, they kill the bad bacteria, which is a good thing, but they also kill all of the good bacteria, leaving your immune system open for getting sick again. So if you see friends or maybe yourself, and this was me in college, repeated sinus infections, where I would, have a sinus infection, I would take the antibiotics, I would get over the sinus infection, but my immune system was very much vulnerable. And then I would catch the next cold that came by, which would turn into a sinus infection, which would put me on antibiotics. I had never been on antibiotics before that I knew of, and I was on them repeatedly in college. My gut flora was off. So this little guy, and you can see the picture here, it's smaller than a pea. You can see it sized up by a dime. My kids can swallow this, and they're 6 and 8. And it's a wonderful, wonderful probiotic that is designed, it has a special coating on it to actually get through the whole digestive process to the gut before it releases the good bacteria. And what does that do? It actually helps to restore the good flora that so many of us, because of the things I just mentioned, lose, and leaves us vulnerable to the allergens attacking us. Grass and pollen are pretty harmless unless you have an allergy attack to them, and that's not so much fun. So this can help very much to get that, so the immune system is really fighting from the gut, which is important, okay? And again, that alfalfa. Can't say enough about that when it comes to allergies. Oops. All right, so if you have children in your life, there's a wonderful kids program that's highlighted here. I love, love, love the Incredivites. My kids, like I said, Benjamin was predicted to have asthma, and they also said anytime he got a cold, it would go to his lungs and he would be a sick kid regularly. And this, plus, the natural cleaning products we use, we're going to talk about briefly in a little bit, and some of these other things like the probiotic, the alfalfa. He takes these, and my other son takes the Nutriferon as well. So this really helps us supercharge their immune system. And there's a lot of sickness that they're exposed to, germs that they're exposed to on a day-to-day basis at school. And this helps to kind of combat that. That does not mean that my kids or other kids on Shaklee don't get sick. They do. But what happens is their immune systems are so strong that it's usually a quick cold and done, whereas other kids might end up at the doctor's office, like Emily was saying, and on medication, and parents have to take time out from work, antibiotics, and then going through that cycle. So this is really, really a great program. We've already talked about everything. The only thing I want to say about Incredivites is, of course, everything's natural. There's nothing artificial in that. Some of the leading brands on the market use an artificial sweetener like aspartame, which is linked to a lot of health issues with kids and adults. And so this has a natural sweetener called xylitol, which has been shown clinically to prevent tooth decay. And it also has something called lactoferrin, which is the immune booster found in breast milk to help supercharge that immune system and keep your kids healthy and strong. Okay, so making a few changes in the diet. Avoiding mucus-producing foods like sugar, like we've talked about, sugary drinks, huge culprit. And if you're looking to lose weight, that's one thing that I encourage you to replace a sugary drink with water and try to get more water in your diet than the sugary drinks. And if you're going to have a soda occasionally, choose a regular versus a diet, and there's many reasons for that. Wheat and baked goods, dairy can be very mucus producing, and I notice with my own kids that dairy causes other issues like constipation and things like that, but also when they have too much sugar and too much dairy in their diet from parties, birthday parties, whatever, they can get more stuffed up here. Maybe you notice that with your own family. Working towards eating 6 to 9 vegetables per day. We have a cleanse program that I'm happy to share more information on that really encourages the greens and the water intake and really changes the mindset around food. Okay, a few testimonials that I'm just going to briefly read through that I pulled for some of these slides. At the age of 3, Reed was in the emergency room due to allergies, and at the time we had no idea what it was, only that he was having extreme difficulties breathing. He was later tested for allergies, and we found out that he was allergic to basically everything outside, including dogs, grass, dust, mold, and eggs. He started taking prescription allergy medication, allergy shots, and breathing treatments, and for a 3-year-old, this was a lot to handle. Nothing was helping with the allergy shots, and the shots were terrible. For several years, it seemed like we kept him in a bubble. Maybe some of you can relate to that. And what kid doesn't love to play outside? We carried EpiPens, medication, inhalers. At school, we had to send medication, washcloths, ice packs for his eyes, the rashes. He would break out at recess from the dust or the mold at school. This went on until age 10. And then this mom was introduced to Shackley by a friend who knew about Reed's allergies. She said, I didn't have anything to lose, so we started Reed on the children's multivitamin I just talked about, and alfalfa. After about 6 weeks, there was a complete turnaround. For the first time in years, we were able to open the windows in our home, like Elizabeth was saying. That's a huge deal for anyone with allergies. A year later, he is now taking the Vital E multiple vitamin and alfalfa. He has absolutely no allergy symptoms as long as he takes the supplements. During the spring, we increased his alfalfa just to be on the safe side. For the first time in the 2015-16 school year, he had perfect attendance. Wow. And another one, real quick. Danielle has a daycare that she owns with a number of toddlers plus her own kids. Mason, who's 3. Mason was on a number of allergy medications and seemed to be always stuffed up with a runny nose. She put Mason on the Incredivites multivitamin and the Chewable C. And then she started adding in the Shackley Get Clean cleaning products, which we haven't talked about yet. Over a few months, Mason is off of all but one of his 3 medications, and she was so excited. And then another quote here, I was taking a rotating set of prescriptions, Zyrtec, Claritin, Allegra, mixed in with some Benadryl, Sudafed, and I don't even know how to say that one, Estelin, I don't know. I did not like the side effects, the groggy or wired racing pulse. I find during peak season, spring and fall, I take 3 Nutriferon that Elizabeth talked about, vitamin C, alfalfa, along with her Vitalizer strip that Elizabeth was talking about. It has that sustained release vitamin C in the pack and extra boost of chewable in the morning. So she takes a couple of extra vitamin C. She stepped up the alfalfa we've been talking about, and was sleeping with the windows open. That's a theme here. I find that I take this for about 6 weeks in the spring and fall, and then return to 2 Nutriferon daily strips, and I'm fine. I continue to take 4 to 5 alfalfa for swelling and digestive tranquility. So there's a lot with the supplements, and we would help you to, get on a program, the person that introduced you, so you can find what works for you. So briefly, I want to just kind of address in the time we have remaining, the toxins in our home, because a lot of times people don't realize, and at Shackley, we do believe that your home should be the safest place in the world. And, when you clean something with something that has a lot of chemicals in it, it might not leave your surface really as clean as you think. So you want to make sure that you're really using some products that are actually cleaning the surfaces that you're trying to clean. So people spend 90% of the time indoors, and 90% of all poison exposures occur in the home. Chemical pollutants have been found to be 2 to 5 times higher inside our homes than outside. So a lot of times when people are having allergy responses, it can be something in the home that's triggering that. Okay, so with our cleaning products, right here is pictured our Get Clean Starter Kit, which I just love, and it just kind of goes down the list here where it's always safe, always works, always green. Everything's from, sustainable ingredients from natural sources, biodegradable, which means that it should break down in 30 days or less. I saw something recently where it said Tide laundry takes 17 years to break down, guys. They call it biodegradable. Yeah, so 30 days or less. Recyclable packaging, wipes, recyclable dryer sheets, no chlorine bleach, phosphates, nitrates, borates, uses no volatile organic compounds, and of course, we never test on animals. So here's another testimony. I heard a story about a young boy that was becoming more and more sick. He was in bed for days with no energy and little appetite. The doctors could not figure out what was wrong. All of the tests were negative. A Shackley distributor reached out to the mom. She suggested changing their cleaning products. And this little boy was always in his PJs and his sheets. And if it was allergic reaction to their laundry soap, then he could never get away from the allergens. The hunch was accurate. They washed all of his clothes in the linens and Shackley's fresh laundry products and Get Clean products, and his health improved to normal. And I have very sensitive skin and really have an allergic response with rash and eczema to laundry soap. So I also have to be very careful with that. our CEO of Shackley, Roger Barnett, one of the ways that they found Shackley was one of their kids, they have 3 children, was having sudden asthma attacks, and asthma does not run in their family. And then they started to learn about their cleaning products and how that can trigger asthma, especially in little kids, because they're so small and their immune systems are still growing and are more sensitive. And so they learned about Shackley, started to use Shackley cleaning products, and that helped. He no longer had any asthma symptoms, issues, no more ER visits, and they ended up on the Oprah Winfrey Show talking about it, and then he bought the company. Okay, so we're coming to the end, but I just want to share a little bit here. This use, share, build slide, perhaps you've seen this before. I'm just going to kind of close with sharing that, when people, if things that we talked about tonight are interesting to you, please talk to the person that invited you to listen tonight or listen to the recording of this. But people come into Shackley for 3 reasons. The first one is to use good products for their family, for their health at a discounted price. And with that, we have something called a membership, which is like a preferred customer club, if you will, like Sam's Club or Costco, but without the annual fees. It's normally $20 to become a member one time, but we have many ways right now that you can get a free lifetime membership to Shackley. And that includes the discounts, the perks, no annual fees, no monthly requirements, just, preferred customer club as it is. And then the sharing category, some people fall into that where they find like, oh, I wish my sister were here to listen to this, or my mom or my best friend. And they start to kind of casually share like I did. And from doing that, if they're a distributor status, they can get some bonus checks back from the company. Thank you checks is what I like to call them. And then there's the build category where people want to maybe stay home with their children or earn extra part-time or full-time income and other perks and rewards that come along with that. That's where I am. And some of you on the call tonight and the girls that spoke tonight, that's where we are building a business, because I do this because I really love to empower and inspire people to better health, to educate people. I feel like it's a gift to offer, and it's really up to you what you want to do with that. But if you're interested in that building category or intrigued about learning more, just give a message to the person that invited you tonight, and we can share more on that and see if that might be a fit for you and our team. So the Healthy Women's Pack, and I'm sorry that this got a little bit, I see that the slide is a little bit off, but this is something that I wanted to make sure I highlighted tonight, because this would be a really nice place for somebody who's having allergies, just wants to build overall health and immune system health. This is something that Shackley has on special, and we can plug this in for the men on the call as well. The Vitalizer, you can get that in the Vitalizer for men, that strip of vitamins, or for gold, people over 50. And I love this because it gives you your stress relief complex. Like Elizabeth said, stress can be a reason why people are having allergic responses to things and breaking down the immune system. It gives you that wonderful strip of vitamins, which has the probiotic in it. It has the vitamin C. It has the multiple vitamin. It has a lot of good stuff. And that shake that she was talking about. Wonderful, extra pre and probiotics, omegas, really great meal replacement or supplement to your day. And then we have Osteomatrix, which is our calcium and magnesium, which is so great for bone density, maintaining what we have, guys. It's really important, and a lot of people forget about it. It's also great for teeth and for sleep. It helps to relax the blood vessels at night. So we have this pack on special for $140. It's normally $169, and that's in May. Now, if you order this before today through Thursday, that would be May 18th, 2017, you can get free shipping from Shackley on this as well, and a free membership for those of you who are not members. So this is a really, really nice pack. I want to make sure I highlight. I have the pack item there for you. And then we just put together a few other collections. These are just some ideas, but again, you can talk to the people if you want to, talk specifically about you with your allergies or somebody that you know. But we have some immune system packages up on the top left with that Vitalizer, the Nutriferon, the Life Shake, and also we added in that Get Clean Starter Kit, which is a really great value. And the total before tax and free shipping on that, because we also have free shipping on $150 orders through Thursday, May 18th, is $260. And you can see we have the allergy pack for kids up in the top with the Incredivites, the Nutriferon, the Optiflora. We have the Get Clean Starter Package. All of that gives you, the Get Clean Starter Package gives you that free membership. And then we have some ongoing specials here. So please talk to the person that invited you, because there's many ways, but I really want to make sure everybody understands that you all can get free shipping in a couple different ways through this Thursday, May 18th. And that includes $150 orders as well, which also gives you a free membership. All right, so I'm just going to close here with this unknown quote, unknown person that said this, but I like it. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. And I think that's so important because often we think, well, I'm just going to, I'll start that tomorrow, or that's nice, but I'm just going to, do what I'm doing. But sometimes it really takes a little bit of effort and some discipline to make a change. But you can see that how that ripple effect can really impact our health and the health of people that we love. So thank you so much for joining us, and for Emily and Elizabeth for sharing. I'm going to go back into, I think I'm going to go back into my, well, there we go. Stopping share. And I'm going to stop the recording.